On April 26th and 27th of 2024, a widespread catastrophic tornado outbreak occurred across portions of the Great Plains and the Midwest. Over half a dozen were killed, hundreds were injured, over 100 tornadoes have been reported from this event, multiple tornado emergencies were issued. Let's go ahead and break down the biggest tornado outbreak of 2024, the first one to produce an EF-4. Now let's go ahead and start off by talking about the biggest tornado of the event, the Marietta Oklahoma EF-4 tornado. This was a violent tornado that struck in southern Oklahoma. Okay, there were hundreds of injuries, multiple fatalities. It did tons of damage to structures across the city, main being a Dollar Tree, actually, that was completely destroyed, alright? Now, this was not a normal tornado. This was not your everyday Oklahoma tornado. This one was violent, and unfortunately, the city of Marietta was only getting started for the day after that one. Multiple other tornadoes that were strong touched down near that location. Luckily, the downtown area of Marietta only got hit once, but once was enough to cause the city to be in panic and mass destruction. Next, let's go ahead and talk about the second worst tornado of the event, that of which being the Elkhorn, Nebraska EF-3 tornado. This was a massive, catastrophic tornado, and especially on radar, you could tell that this thing was unfortunately going to cause, a lot of destruction across a very populated area of Nebraska. Around 3:30 to 3:45 p.m., a tornado emergency was issued for the western side of Elkhorn. Eventually, that was extended all the way up towards Blair and across the Missouri River into Iowa. Okay, now this, luckily, miraculously, did not cause any fatalities, all right? Now, that is very surprising because of the magnitude of the tornado and how populated the area that it went through. But unfortunately, this still caused mass destruction across the western portion of Elkhorn, parts of Waterloo, Blair. This tornado was on the ground for almost an hour and a half, which is ridiculous. And unfortunately, once again, this wasn't even the biggest of the event. So, that kind of just puts it into perspective how bad the Marietta, Oklahoma tornado was. If this kind of damage occurred from an EF-3, the Marietta tornado's damage reports are definitely not done coming in yet. Third, let's go ahead and talk about the Minden, Iowa tornado. All right, now, this was officially rated at a high-end EF-3 tornado, but there is a lot of controversy over that. The wind speeds estimated by radar could have been as high as low-end EF-5 wind speeds, which would be extremely significant because, if you're not aware, it's been over 60 years since we've had an EF-5 touchdown in western Iowa, so that would be very significant. But luckily, the towns that got impacted by this tornado, like Minden, did not go through the worst of it. So while this tornado may not be given the proper damage rating because of that, luckily, probably dozens of lives were spared because of that, because if an EF-5 touched down in a town as populated as Minden, that would have been even worse than what happened. But what happened was still pretty bad. There was still a tornado emergency issued for Minden, and then the following areas north of that. Overall, just another catastrophic tornado from this event. Next up, we're going to be talking about the Sulphur Oklahoma tornadoes. Now, the reason I say tornadoes as in plural is because, yes, the city of Sulphur, Oklahoma got hit by multiple strong, damaging tornadoes in this event, the worst of which being an EF-3 that touched down, unfortunately, near downtown portions of Sulphur, causing tons of damage to the downtown area, alright? Unfortunately, there were over 100 injuries because of these tornadoes touching down in the same spot. After the first one, there was nowhere left to take shelter for the second one. Now, unfortunately, 4 fatalities also occurred, which is by far the most that we've seen out of any singular tornadoes so far this year. Overall, the city of Sulphur, Oklahoma is in complete devastation. Before the Marietta, Oklahoma tornado got rated, this was looking like it was going to be the worst one. So, this was obviously a strong and catastrophic tornado that impacted Sulphur. Now, throughout this event, there were over 100 tornadoes that touched down across portions of the Great Plains, so it's impossible for me to go over every single one of them in this singular video. However, if this video does somehow reach 50 likes, I will be doing a sequel where I talk about the other big tornadoes that happened in this event. I mean, guys, this is the biggest tornado outbreak we've had in a long time, so this was honestly a really hard video to make for me, just knowing that this many people were in danger and did get impacted by this unfortunate event. And even on April 29th, which I didn't talk about in this video, had some violent tornadoes in Oklahoma, and it was very unexpected, guys. So, again, there's so much more to talk about in this event, but unfortunately I could not squeeze it all into one video. So I do want to thank you all for watching. Come back next time because, I mean, for every big tornado event, I do a video like this, even if it's not as big as this one, alright? Again, this was the biggest event I've done one for so far. So, again, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.